Okay, this is Hero Web Comics, and I'm going to talk about Horton Hears a Who, the best, and the best of the worst of Horton Hears a Who. Uh, First of all, I say this was actually pretty okay, pretty fun movie for the most part. A lot of good stuff in it. Now we goes to the best thing about the movie. It would be Jim Carrey as Horton, the silly elephant, running around, the acting silly, trying to figure out a way to save this flower with his speck on it. Flower with a speck on it, with all the who's in there. It's really fun. He's really silly and fun, and it's wonderful with him in there. It's wonderful to see him doing stuff. Also, Steve Carell as the dad on the speck, the dad who on the speck with his daughters and his little son hanging out, hanging out doing stuff and everything. You know, it wasn't really talked about in the book at all, but still, you know, it's nice to see him. Nice to see him have JoJo have a little bit of his own little character and whatnot. It's pretty fun. But anyway, pretty fun, and I did like all the cool stuff that was on there, and everything like that. Yes, there and everything like that. Yeah, but the thing is, with the main issue with the movie again, I don't know what's going on with cartoon moms today. But yeah, it's the mom of the mom is fine. The mom on the spec is fine. Okay, she was like Amy Poehler. It's the mom who's the villain. That's the problem. Again, the main mom. Okay, the kangaroo. Played by Carol Burnett. Carol Burnett can be a good villain. Miss Hannigan. She was amazing at that. But this is a different story. They aren't. This is actually There's all kinds of stuff going on here that's pretty crazy because it's sort of like X-Men vs. Wolverine. You got a character who basically has you have a very deep, well, not exactly that deep, but very silly, very villain that you care about, a hero that you care about, and a villain who's like kind of one-dimensional. There's no real backstory on why she doesn't want the kids using their imaginations. Okay, now I would have liked it better if she basically been, coming at us like a normal person. Coming at us like a normal person, saying, hey, these kids are acting weird, talking to flowers. What's going on here? That would work better. But she said they're using their imaginations. So what the heck does that mean? Why does she not want people using their imaginations for? I don't know. It's weird. And the thing is, she's so desperate to stop this thing that she even almost sacrificed this. Was willing to sacrifice her child to stop this to get rid of the flower. What the heck? That's terrible. It made the when the kid turned on her, it made that a little bit slightly more, give it more sense, but still it was wrong. It was to give it more sense. Still, of course, it's still wrong because I'm sorry, you can't say no, mom. Okay, that's just disrespectful. Okay, I don't care if she's the main villain, she's still your mom. He should have said something like, sorry, mom, but when she said, give me the flower back, man. He's like, no, sorry, mom, but I can't. Here you go, Horton. That would have worked a lot better. That's the issue with that. That to me was the worst of Horton Hears Who, was how this girl basically tried to do anything. Also, was trying to do this stuff and basically sacrificing everything. We don't really know why. Not really. Just other than like the fact that she doesn't want it to happen. Also, of course, why was the only woman that was against destroying the speck, the flower with the speck on it, on the speck? What the heck was that? Okay, now maybe if it was like the mouse was a girl, that would have been a little something. He as a boy was shooed away, stood up forward, but then got easily shooed away by Kangaroo. It was a bit of an issue, but also then of course it's like this. Why in the world, there was this other thing, this weird little yellow creature, who basically didn't really, she basically didn't say anything against destroying spec. She wouldn't really talk, but she got punched, and also she wasn't really, she was a kid, so basically, again, not really a matching authority figure to, say, hey, this is wrong, she wasn't really, that was not cool. That was not cool at all. I didn't like that. That was the worst thing about Horton Hears Who was the villain, was the issues with the villain. That was the issues, and that basically messed up the whole movie, because then it's like, okay, at the end, what do you do? There should have been a part where basically every action has consequences, and she didn't really have any her actions should have caused some issues. Should have been like, okay, no, wait a minute, Horton being a cool guy basically should have said, I forgive you, and she'd be like, wait, whoa, there should have been a little speech, a little something, a little like, oh, whoa, I almost killed you, I almost, he was even willing to sacrifice my own child for this. It's just weird. It's just strange. I deserve your forgiveness, man. It's like, well, I don't care. He should have said, I don't really care. I mean, I still like, I'm me. I get to do what I want to do. I don't care about that. You learned that. You've learned your lesson. You learned your lesson. You learned that trust. Yeah, basically, it's about trust. Trusting. To me, it's about trust here. Trusting another person when they say something that is you don't believe, you don't really know or understand. Say something you don't, or do something that you don't really know or understand. But you do it anyway. You trust them. That's what it should have been like. Should have been her basically learning to trust a little bit. Basically, like, what happens if something else happens, and you have to, you should trust. What if something else happens? It's like, well, you can use this lesson as a guide. This time it was real. You heard the voice. You heard the song. You heard the people yelling on the speck, on the flower thing. So the next time something happens, can just trust me to help you. Trust hang out. Don't pass judgment so quickly. That would have been really nice. They didn't have that though. He's like, here, let's go. It was just a horrible, annoying ending to that thing. Other than of course the fact that other than of course keeping the Who's safe. That whole thing was good, but still the villain. It's just like again like National Treasure 2. When the villain somehow turned good. Why would he turn good? There's no reason for him to turn good and sacrifice himself. He should have gone out with the crew, and then Nicolas Cage come out some other way or something. That's what should have happened. There's just a lot of weird stuff going on. We got. Hopefully they'll work on that. Let me figure that out because that was great. But that was the best. Sum up, the best was Horton being silly and having fun times trying to save the speck and the flower. The worst. Oh no, got a text. Don't have any minutes to get the text. Oh well. The worst would have to be the villain, the kangaroo mom, trying to destroy this flower basically because she wanted to, and there's no real reason, other than the fact that she wanted to, and she wanted to maintain the status quo, but she was willing to sacrifice her child for that. That's just not good. That's just not cool. So no, worst. I'm sorry. It's a fun movie, not a Mother's Day movie. No, definitely not. Don't watch it for Mother's Day. Not a good one for that. No, but it's a fun movie for the most part. See you next time.